This is DG Vision Network.
The Nigerian Communications Commission is the largest telecom regulator in Africa, and the public perception of the commission is very key to its survival. This makes the role of the Public Affairs Department very paramount to it. On our guest of the week for today, we have live on the show the Director of Public Affairs of the NCC, Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde, who will tell us what his office is doing to help the Commission as a whole achieve its mandate. Welcome to the show, Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
Image and perception defines the value of any organization, and the NCC is always in the eye of the public. What are you doing towards helping the Commission achieve its set objectives?
Thank you very much. The Nigerian Communications Commission is a foremost regulatory organization, and it has defined that as its mission to support a market-driven communications industry and promote universal access. The NCC is acclaimed both nationally and internationally as the foremost regulatory agency in Africa. And from that context, being in the public affairs role for an organization of that international repute demands quite a lot. It demands that you're on your toes all the time to keep pace with the flux and the dynamics of activities that happen within and outside the agency, the commission in this instance. The NCC presents you as a corporate communications department, a public affairs department, an opportunity as well as a challenge to mainstream its activities across the different spheres of the industry to the external stakeholders and internal stakeholders. And that means that you are able to integrate through your strategic communication activities all the elements of the mission and vision that transpire across the various departments and functional areas in a way that you communicate them to the external and internal stakeholders very meaningfully.
You are saddled with the responsibility of managing Africa's biggest regulator. Can you let us into some of the insights that you go through in your management of the activities for the success of the Commission?
Let me say from the outset in response to that question that every organization is as good as the leadership. We are privileged in NCC to have a visionary leader in the person of Professor Margaret Dambata as the Executive Vice Chairman and CEO of the Commission. As an institute leader, Dambata has brought with him, since assumption of office in 2015, very transformational initiatives that have seen the Commission being redefined in various ways. Today, NCC, by virtue of Professor Dambata's role, has footprints of achievements across various sectors of the industry and across various elements of its strategic objectives. And we can begin to talk about them. Professor Dambata, upon assumption of office, was very clear-minded in terms of what he wants to deliver in his first tenure as EVC. And he enunciated all that in an 8-point agenda, which spans, I will just mention a few of them: consumer empowerment issues, broadband issues, quality of service issues, and a whole range of other regulatory trusts, which he began to drive from the onset. And today, we can see how the achievement of these strategic objectives have helped in reshaping and transforming not just the industry in Nigeria, but even impacting what the telecommunications industry is outside of the country and within the continent.
All right, lastly, managing crisis and perception helps an organization's image. How do you respond to issues of this nature in order to ensure that the corporate image of the Commission is well preserved?
Let me say again that when you work with a man like Professor Dambata, and you are in the role of a public affairs director, he makes your job very easy because he's the chief image maker himself. Professor Dambata is a big influencer. He's a great communicator. And so he brings with him the perceptions that are so strong that it makes it easy for you as a public affairs director to drive your role in the department. NCC as a strong brand continues to cherish its reputation and continues to engage in activities with its internal and external stakeholders, not just to build that reputation, but to sustain it. It is simply one of the biggest achievements that you can credit to Professor Dambata since he came into office. I can tell you very clearly, for instance, that last year, the ICPC, through a very transparent survey, the NCC came up as #1 within the regulatory agencies in the country in terms of transparency, accountability, and its ethical practices within its internal processes. And this is something that we've talked about. So the public perception of NCC is very strong from the perspective of the quality of the leadership, both at the CEO level, at the board level, and the senior management level. And so being a public affairs director in such an environment makes your work easier. Thank you.
All right. I must thank you very much for your time, Dr. Adinde. That was Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde, the Director of Public Affairs, Nigerian Communications Commission, telling us about the role his office is playing in helping the Commission achieve its objectives.
This is DG Vision Network.